Over and over again, I keep seeing the same 5 nutritional weight loss mistakes, sabotaging my clients' body recomposition goals and keeping them stuck in that diet restriction cravings binge cycle. Heck, I did them all myself, so I wanted to reveal to you today what they are alongside some simple fixes. Okay, we're going to start with the biggie. Juice is better and a healthier alternative to soda or other sugary beverages. Honestly, this myth drives me nuts because it's so baked into our culture and has been for decades. You're probably like me, growing up surrounded by fruit juice. It was at home, it was at school, and even in holiday breakfast spreads, and always marketed as a healthy food. But literally, guys, it's sabotaging weight loss and it's keeping us trapped in the non-stop craving loop for more sugar and starches and causes those daily awful energy crashes. Now, I know juices can look super appealing with all those vibrant colors and claims of boosting your immunity or detoxing your body. But the truth is, juice isn't a health food, it's essentially a liquid dessert. The scientific reason for this is that when you juice a product, you are removing all the important fiber, and the fiber is absolutely key because it helps slow down the absorption of the natural sugars that are found in fruits. Without that fiber, the sugar hits your bloodstream much faster, which causes a blood sugar spike, just like when you're eating candy or drinking a Coca Cola. So when we spike, insulin gets released and excess glucose causes a chemical overwhelm that results in being stored in our liver, muscles, and our fat cells. This is one of the ways that we can gain fat on our body, especially belly fat, and triggers insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, and so on. In short, your body is inflamed. To be clear, and remember this, to be clear, 3 out of 5 people will die of an inflammation based disease. So, prioritizing balancing our glucose levels and avoiding spikes and crashes should be at the top of all of our to do list. Also, the bigger the glucose spike, the bigger the crash, causing more impact on your hunger and your cravings. So, if you're someone who suffers from chronic cravings, binge eating, like I have in the past, or you can't escape feeling hungry all the time and you feel depleted energy, then ditching fruit juices and sugary drinks, of course, in general, will, I promise you, radically help you. Because here's the crazy thing, many seemingly healthy juices actually contain more sugar than a can of soda. We need to stop thinking that fruit juice is good for us just because it comes from a fruit, and instead thinking of it as something of pleasure and enjoyment. So, again, not for our health, purely because we like the taste of it and we enjoy it. And this is the same whether the juice is fresh or store bought. Listen, it's definitely not the health elixir that it's marketed to be. My advice to you is if you do want to drink it, do not drink it on an empty stomach. Have it with a protein, fat, or fiber to slow down the glucose absorption. And just before we move on to the next toxic myth, if you are stuck in that sugar dependency cycle and you want a complete guide to breaking its grip over you, do grab my free guide down in the link in the description below. Okay, so next up, the myth that eggs raise your cholesterol levels and are too calorific. Okay, so if you consider that an egg has about 60 to 80 calories, depending on its size, and then if you think that peanut butter of the same size is going to give you 300 calories, I think we can blow that myth away. The other thing is the cholesterol, all right? Cholesterol are associated with eggs and they've had a bad rep. And yes, of course, they do have 186 milligrams in a simple egg yolk. And we know we don't want cholesterol because of the heart disease risk. But here's the thing, the cholesterol that's found in eggs is not, I repeat, not the one that's going to raise your overall cholesterol levels in the same way that other foods like trans fats and saturated fats do. In fact, eggs are an incredibly dense food nutrition that makes you feel full for longer, are packed with protein and vitamins. So, you just feel that satiety, that comfort, it balances your hormones, it doesn't spike you. And clinical studies have found that eggs are found to be the best brain food that you could find, as well as the most complete protein you could eat. And I'll drop the study to that for those of you who want to see it down in the description below. So, eggs are so super healthy. Add them to your diet. I personally eat 3 to 4 a day, and I give them to my kids the same every day, even though right now eggs are crazy. It's like more expensive than gold. But anyway, fingers crossed we can get the prices down. All right, just personal thing there. Okay, so I want to tackle the next big one, and that's the myth that cutting carbs is the best way to lose weight. Well, yes, of course, foods that contain carbs can really hurt your progress. But equally, the right carbs, what I call slimming carbs, are really supported and have you feeling nourished, satiated, and full of energy. It comes down to how different carbs impact your hunger and your cravings, and when you eat them and what you eat them with, like a high quality protein. Honestly, this one is a really big one for me to help me back from my 7 pregnancies. I suffered, so, and I bet so many of you can this resonates with you. I suffered so much because I really cut out the carbs. You know, that's what you were told at the time. Cut the carbs, cut the carbs. And so when I was trying to lose the weight with my first 4 pregnancies, I was energy depleted. I felt restricted, and I would always end up at some point in the day binging on carbs because of that. But when I understood the science behind slimming carbs versus fattening carbs, it really turned things around for me. Not just when I was losing the baby weight, but as I continued to work for me, even as I hit the age 40 and beyond. So again, just like we looked at in the myth number 1 about the juice, is understanding the effect that carbs have on your blood sugar levels, whether you consume it and it spikes or whether it's going to keep it pretty stable. And that is what you need to remember. So the key is focusing on the right type of carbs that are full of fiber and protein and have very little glucose. They're slow burning, they keep your blood sugar levels steady and your metabolism high, and they don't create that fat storage that we also dread. The problem with super low carb diets is that when you eliminate an entire food group, your body starts to crave those foods, which, as I said, from happened to me, can lead to binging and yo-yo dieting. Plus, cutting out carbs entirely means you're missing out on important vitamins, minerals, and other really, really essential nutrients. So instead, I want you to think of carbs in 3 categories based on how they literally react in your body and on your blood sugar levels. So 1, where there's no impact at all. Category 2, where there's a little bump. And then category 3, there's going to be a huge spike. Then I want you to consider where you are in your weight loss journey. So if you're in the beginning, you can focus on incorporating the non-impact carbs at the core of your daily nutrition. And then as you move into reaching your goals and maintenance, then you can comfortably mix in 1 and 2, because it's important not to get food fatigue and boredom with your meals, because that will just lead you down the garden path. Then, of course, we have category 3, the high spiking foods. Now, I just want to take a pause here for a moment as a person who has overcome food-related struggles. My purpose is for me to help you, cultivate a nourishing relationship with food and maintain it. So I'm trying to tell you here, I do not advocate for restricting anything from your diet, because I know from painful experience and that of my clients, it does not work for those of us who have a complicated relationship with food. In fact, it only leads to binge eating and food obsession. And I'm trying to help folks regain their mental freedom from food, right? So if this resonates with you and you're struggling with this, then you can work through my free 4-part YouTube series covering the A to Z on how to break free from overeating, binge eating, and cycle of cravings, so that you can get healthy and not feel restricted, but find balance. And I will drop the series of that down in the description below as well, so that you can start those when you finish this video. Or if you're facing this exact challenge and you want to see if my approach would help for your situation, I do have a few spots open on my calendar this week. Simply click the link below to book a free consultation call. Okay, so as I said, category 3 carbs, we're talking a full-blown toxic fallout from the spike, okay, just as I explained in the beginning of this video. And these foods are very obvious to you, like sweets, chips, bagels, bread, ice cream, French fries. But here's the thing, it's also most cereals, as well as pasta, rice, and snacks that come in packages, including, guys, granola bars and protein bars. They are just as lethal on our blood sugar level spikes, okay? But again, here's the good news. It doesn't mean you never can eat these foods again. You simply need to adjust how you eat them. Something that if you watch lots of my videos or emails or work with me, you know that I'm always drilling you on, and that's how to eat food in the correct order to keep your blood sugar levels stable. That order is first fiber, protein, fats, and then starches and sugars. And there should be a graph I'm putting up here for you so that you can visually see it. You can also couple this with adding a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to your salad dressing, or adding it to a tall glass of water with a straw, because your teeth, ideally up to 20 minutes before your meal. And this will reduce your spike by at least 30%. So it really works. But guys, remember, this is a lifestyle commitment. You want to be prioritizing the low and mid impact carbs in your life, okay? I've put together a quick classification master list PDF down below. Again, you can click the description, you'll get it. Just to help you, because this video isn't all about that, but you'll have that below. And I will be doing a video specifically on exactly what foods, recipes, and how to use it for weight loss and blood sugar stabilization. So if it is released, you'll find it in the link below, but please hit the notification bell so that you know when that's coming up next. Okay, so what I'm saying here is I do not want you to be cutting out carbs completely. This is not what I want you to be doing. I encourage you guys to focus on just choosing more nutrition-dense, complex carb sources. And an easy tip, in case you don't have the PDF or you forget, is just try to stick with carbohydrates that come from the earth as much as possible. Like it's in its most refined and unrefined form. And that will keep you on the straight and narrow. Even if some of those carbohydrates are a little bit more spiking than others, they will not have the same spike as the seriously processed stuff. All right. So something to keep in mind for you when you get there. Now, what did we say today? What did she say the carbs were? Okay. So the next myth for keeping you stuck from reaching your wellness goals and your body goals, of course, is that all fats are bad for you and will automatically make you gain weight. Okay, so healthy fats are not only great for us, they are amazing for our hormones, and they actually keep our blood sugar levels steady, which loops back to what I was saying about focusing on an anti-glucose spiking, low inflammation diet. I personally come from an era where everything was low fat, and seriously, it really sabotaged my own body recomp goals. So please don't make the same mistake as me. Good fats actually keep you feeling satiated for longer, and they contribute to keeping your body working at a fat burning rate, as well as also things like giving you amazing skin and hair. You can find them in foods like avocados, olive oil, nuts, coconut milk, fatty fish. The key you need to remember is to avoid the unhealthy trans fats and saturated fats found in seed oils, processed foods, and of course, junk foods, which are unfortunately packed with them. And of course, you're surrounded by them all day, whether you're going to the drive-through, whether you go into your local supermarket and quickly pick something off the shelf. All right. So please do read the food label. The problem is that I also want you to remember is when you're looking for those, low fat, supportive of your diet foods, you must be really, really careful of them because they often replace the fat with sugar to maintain the flavor. And so accidentally, you are sabotaging, your weight loss goals. All right, you're just triggering them and making them worse. So the takeaway here is embrace incorporating high quality fats into your lifestyle because they are an incredible tool to achieve your weight loss goals and maintenance. And be wary of those highly processed, sugar laden, fat free products because, as I said, they will be sabotaging your overall goals. Okay, so the next nutrition myth, I think, which is probably the most widely believed and probably the most destructive myth that has kept so many of us locked in the constant weight loss trap, and that is calorie counting. Now, I know calorie counting in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing. That's for individuals to choose, or if you're working with me, we work up a plan. I personally do not calorie count, but I have clients that do. So I'm not saying it's all, we talk more about macro, but the truth is that calorie counting is not a simple formula of calories in, calories out. I mean, after all, are you seriously telling me that eating a nutritious, dense bowl of something at 400 calories has the same response in your body as a holiday drink containing the same amount of calories? Hello, Starbucks drinks. Come on now, please. You cannot tell me that. All calories are not created equally. Instead, you should be focusing on the food quality to achieve your fat loss goals, which is much easier, so much easier, and results in lasting change. And that's where for example, the carbohydrate tip above just really helps you because when you're talking about those low impact foods on your blood sugar levels, you can eat as many of those as you want. You're never going to feel starving hungry. All right. So just saying. Um, the other problem that you have with the calorie counting is that it estimates just like a general estimation instead of actually thinking about it in terms of different people's sizes, what their metabolism is like. It's not that works for everyone's type of situation. Also, and again, this is really talking to me and a lot of the people I work with who have binge eating and cravings and things like that. Calorie counting does lead to an obsession with numbers. So instead of thinking of just eating things that are nutritious, dense, great foods for you, people really do get obsessed with low calorie, low calorie. And it's just really not good to break that cycle and get to that healthy situation with your food. So low calorie foods tend also to be the highest carbohydrate foods. And the highest carbohydrate foods, as we've been talking about, tend to have the lowest satiety levels because they're just quickly going through your body. They don't raise the satiety hormones that tell us that we're full and we're happy. So again, what does that lead to? More cravings, more eating, more putting on weight. So the other aspect of calorie counting is that it doesn't take into day-to-day factors of your life like poor sleep, stress, and whatnot, which also affect your metabolism and slow it down. So you could be doing all this calorie restriction only to find that you're making it worse because your body is stressed, you're tired, whatever, and it's doing you no good at all. The single biggest sabotaging factor that I've found in my coaching clients is that they try to achieve their goals is under eating and restricting their calories. All right. So these restrictive diets, you just really need to get clear on the right nutrition to fuel your body because just like a fire, you need the right stuff to burn the fat. All right, remember that. The key is to focus on food quality and making sure that it's properly balanced between protein, fat, and fiber. And, I know that that's not easy, and adopting a new way of eating does really feel overwhelming at times. And so, my recommendation to you, after all my trial and error, is to start with keying in your protein consumption first for the biggest and fastest impact and results. But how do you achieve the place of harmony with your daily nutrition? And how do you do it quickly and sustainably so that you aren't wasting time to get to your goal? Well, you can do it one of two ways. You can do the shortcut way, which is to get in touch with me. You can check out my sneak peek to my healthy lifestyle program below and in the comments below, where I can get you there and quickly. Or if you want to DIY it and do it for yourself, getting started again today, you can start working on your protein and how much you need, is to watch the next video, The Truth About Protein and Weight Loss. This was a huge discovery for me because people are actually eating protein in the wrong way, and it's putting fat on them and putting their weight on. So I suggest you watch that next. It was key for me to get rid of my pregnancy weight and to take me through my 40s into my 50s. And so check it out right now, and I promise you, follow these videos and it will work for you. I've been in your shoes. You can do this. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.